And hello, everyone, and welcome to the No Shots Fired podcast. This is episode 52, Playing with the Boys. Getting a little Kenny Loggins for you people up in here. And tonight, we have a very special surprise topic to lead off the evening, followed by Doom. Not like the state of emotional or physical being, but the game.
It may drift into that.
I'm assuming. Okay, that's
it may drift into that.
A bit of an existential dilemma. Although Doom, I think, is just kind of a, not existential, but specific, actual. Why Junkblade and Doc can't play Counter-Strike together? We're going to talk about the conspiracy rattling the country right now. Who is doxing us? Who is preventing this dream crew from finally coming together? Space Marine, don't know what that is. Dungeons & Dragons update, and finally end with your questions, and we're going to be a lot of them after this surprise topic. So without further ado, Junkblade, introduce.
Surprise! Get on in here!
Oh no, it can't be.
Ladies and gentlemen.
No.
It is Madam.
No! My God.
It came out of y'all's budget. You're back to zero, but Caleb pulled the string.
Forget back to zero. We're in the red here.
Yep.
The rainy day fun. Oh no.
Not only are you the surprise, but you're also the surprise topic. So, Madam, take us away with the surprise topic that we're going to be talking about for this podcast. Keep in mind, you only have to be able to talk about it for 58 minutes.
We're gonna do silent meditation for 58 minutes.
Leading us through some breathing exercises and everything. Awesome.
No, I got nothing, but I'm looking forward to interjecting on Doom and why can't Junkblade and Doc play CS together and the various other topics that we'll be covering tonight.
Great.
Excellent.
Great. Very excited. You can talk about your own gaming adventures, which Doc is going to be really excited to hear about.
yeah. We'll do that at the end.
Excellent.
Doom. Let's talk about Doom. Again, not the state of being, but
yes.
the
Okay.
game.
So Doom, early 90s shooter for the PC.
Yep.
Widely considered to be one of the popularizing games of that genre, which is pretty popular still, I'd say.
Yeah.
So they just released them on the Switch for like $5, and I was like, ha! Playing Doom on the Nintendo thing, that's funny, I'll do that. So I did, and I realized I've never beaten or even played the original Doom that much. Have you guys
Never played it.
Never played it.
Valen?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I've seen it.
Okay.
I might have. I don't know.
Okay, great.
We'll just go with that.
But I beat maybe the first 3 or 4 levels. Sound effects real good. Like it's just
From
very
the original one, or are you talking about the new one?
Original one.
Yeah.
Like very satisfying. Reloading. The enemies are like are very
I
good.
think I was too scared to try to play it. With
Yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
Respect.
Yeah. Seeing it now, you're kind of like, well, I respect the artistry to do that kind of sprite work in the early '90s, but in terms of like congressional hearing level, it's kind of laughable at this point.
But this was, if I recall, one of, like the foundational shooter games. If I recall.
Yeah. You could put
shoot monsters, right? Is it monsters?
You're in hell. You're in hell.
You're in hell. That's a bad place to be.
How did you get to hell?
Well, actually, you might be on Mars, and they're opening a portal to hell, and demons are coming out. I don't know.
And they are still coming out with Dooms now?
Oh, yeah.
There was a remake just a few years ago.
The remake was fantastic. And then this next one, Doom Eternal, is looking very good as well. So, but it had been, let's see, Doom 3 was like 04, I think. And so it'd been a decade at least between that and the reboot, for lack of a better word.
And there was the Doom movie, which we do not talk about.
Yeah. Because like it had shifted to kind of Quake
Gentlemen.
from Doom, so like there was a lot more lot more Quakes, I think, than Doom still at this point.
At some point, once you've wrapped up this discussion, I need to talk to you about the plot of the original Doom.
Okay.
All right,
But-
absolutely.
Quick fun fact: do you guys know where they came up for the name Doom for the game?
Well,
don't.
it's mood spelled backwards.
I was that. We were on the same wavelength there. You beat me to
You
it.
still got it. Madam has still got it. Still in sync with the podcast.
Okay, that's great. It's wrong. So have you guys seen a little movie called The Color of Money?
No.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, you need to
Yeah.
then. It's
Oh,
fantastic.
great film. Paul Newman, Tom Cruise. Sequel
Okay.
to The Hustler from the 1960s. Fast Eddie Felsen.
Cool movie.
But Tom Cruise, cocky young pool shark, Vince, goes into a pool hall trying to rustle up some cash. Has a very fancy pool cue in a box. And someone comes up to him and says,
Babushka.
Yeah, Batabushka. What you got there? And he gives that Tom Cruise cocksure grin and says, this here, Doom. And that's where they got it from.
So,
Really?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
It's a
funny.
great movie.
Yeah, there's a very cool Masters of the Universe, I think is the book. Very cool thing, book about how id got started and their journey to make Doom and Quake and stuff. Very cool.
Plus, it led to the creation of the now famous 9-Ball Club,
Yes,
a league of champions in the art of 9-Ball.
extremely
Since-
exclusive club.
Very, very. To date, only 2 members.
Currently on
No.
hiatus, hoping to reconvene soon.
We've discussed having an application process for additional members, but
Yes,
it got killed in committee,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
didn't have the votes.
All right, now we're going to hit you with the plot for Doom, now that we know
Okay.
where the title came from. And this is, I think, just so topical, because in the year 2019,
Oh God.
the player character who's an unnamed space marine, which is something we're talking about later, I mean, we're looping in everything right now. I love it. Been punitively posted to Mars after assaulting a superior officer who ordered his unit to fire on civilians. Classic superior officers ordering people to just fire on civilians.
Man. Who's
Yeah,
the real
Spa-
demons, right, guys? Huh? What do you think?
Space Marines act as security for the Union Aerospace Corporation radioactive waste facilities, which are used by the military to perform secret experiments with teleportation by creating gateways between the 2 moons of Mars. Oh man, this is actually more complex than I thought it would be. They mess up, they accidentally open a gateway to hell, and the only person left alive is the Marine, and then that's okay. I'm gonna stop reading.
I love
That's-
that. As far just they've continued to make games, they've never named the Doom Marine. He's still just the Doom Marine.
I like that too.
And one of the good things about the new one, or the one that just came out a couple years ago, was that like basically, I think it is kind of like a follow up to the previous game, so it's not necessarily a reboot like I was saying earlier, because they basically you find like text about the Doom Marine, and he's basically treated like a god. So that's satisfying. But yeah, so gotta stop those demons from hell coming onto Mars.
And we've still got a fair amount of 2019 to go, so
I think we get there. I think we get there.
They could open up a portal to hell with the Large Hadron Collider. Still.
Yeah. I mean, who thinks they already have it? Anybody? Come on. Wake up, everybody.
Yeah,
Wake up.
That's fair.
Speaking of
spider?
government conspiracies,
Yeah, why can we not get a game of Counter-Strike to go well at all?
I can't even. Every time Junkblade tries to join the crew for Counter-Strike, Universal Forces conspire against me specifically.
No way! I didn't know you've been trying to play.
I've been trying to play with them, and
To-
every
I've-
single time
We've played maybe
something
2
happens,
rounds.
and Doc can't actually get to play.
Say, first time I got booted every 5 minutes I tried to keep joining.
Yeah.
And then the
And
second
they did.
time, someone stuck something up my daughter's butt, and she wouldn't stay asleep. So,
Yeah, I've been trying to play just like one freaking game round with Doc that goes well, and it will not happen.
Or even just happens. I would take that. It doesn't even have to go well at this point. We just have to both be on the server at the same time.
Yeah, just both on the server at the same time for the entire set of matches.
Yeah.
I seriously don't know what Universal Force has decided it hates us and doesn't want.
You know what may need to happen? Maybe we need Manos back in the squad, huh? Remember that?
You might think that.
Yeah, one of our most watched videos on the YouTube channel, Manimos. Come on, give us the content.
What is that?
I think it's the one of him firing the machine gun through the door or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh no way! Yeah, that's a good one. Because I killed someone in what's that map called?
Dust.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Dust. When you're supposed to be sniping through that doorway, and I think I killed someone through it, and I'm just firing like the Negev or something. I need to pull that back up.
How do I look that video up? Because I want to link that in chat. I want that attached to this video.
I need to watch that. Yeah.
Here we go.
I should have retired after that.
You did.
You kind of did. I mean, in a lot of ways.
Just download.
Oh, that's good.
Counter-Strike and we play it tonight.
It's actually funny. Nice, got it in chat. You know what's funny? I actually was watching probably a couple weeks ago. I was watching all of the games that I've saved, like the Counter-Strike replays that I've saved, and one of them was Madamus's last foray into Counter-Strike. And I quickly became more interested in what he was doing because he was just like running around with a shotgun and not having a great time. It was pretty funny to watch. I feel like I could tell as the game progressed your gradual level of disinterest with each round.
Madamus, you are in 7 of our 8 most popular YouTube videos. Okay, get back on.
Be a coincidence.
Get back on the train. We need you.
Oh my god, 19 views.
Yeah.
The other day I was watching on my Twitch channel some of our videos. The one, Evan, where me, you, and Quentin, or what is that game called? Papers, Please?
Yeah, that was
one
a
guy
great one.
dies. That was a pretty great moment.
Oh man, that's so sad. I forgot about Papers, Please. I don't think we never even beat it because that was so devastating. I think we stopped it.
It's also super freaking hard.
For the record, the game and the clip we're talking about, Papers, Please, is this great indie game. You are a security guard in a toll booth for a Soviet-esque country, and it sounds like it'd be very boring, but it's actually really interesting. And so every day you get identification from random people, and you've got to compare it to whatever list of criteria you have to determine whether or not that identification is legitimate or not.
I'm saying it gets gradually more complicated, right? With more things to check, and you're paid based off how many you get through, and then there's
how quickly, correctly.
You start to learn that things are not quite as they seem. I mean, they are as they seem, but people talk to you about it, I guess.
And now, for all of those people out there who want to buy the game and don't want spoilers, turn off your your stereo now. Spoiler alert.
And microphones, just in case.
This clip, which I'm definitely going to watch after this, is of me, Quentin, and Madamus playing the game together, because it actually, if you have a couple people to watch the ID, it helps a lot, because there's a lot of stuff to focus on.
So much, yeah.
And we have a friend who's one of the guards at the border security checkpoint. He would come up and talk to us and stuff. And the border security checkpoint gets attacked, but we weren't quick enough to help shoot at the attackers. And our buddy, sadly, I don't remember his name.
I think it's Sergio or something.
Yeah, it's I think we call him Sergey, but I don't think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
I mean, not as a way of being homophobic or anything. I just think I didn't know how to pronounce the name. But yeah, he goes down, and it's a real devastating moment for the whole crew.
I need to delete these Rocket League videos. They're embarrassing. Oh my goodness.
When was the last time you played Rocket League, Doc?
Well, some of us played yesterday, but
Wow. Up to date.
My CS thing needs more views. That's what I've decided.
We all need more views.
Oh yeah. Throw that one in there too. But yeah, so we'll keep trying. They're not going to keep us down forever, probably.
They can't keep us down forever.
You wouldn't think so. You'd think we'd eventually get a game in there. But yeah, really frustrating.
Yeah, to say the least.
And they think Epstein just committed suicide. Come on, man.
Why can't Junkblade and Doc play together? It's all part of the same conspiracy. We're
Boy,
Boy,
trying.
I would prefer not to be linked to that one in particular, if we could.
Yeah.
They're
I
trying to.
prefer-
No, not in the. We're not on his side. We're the ones.
I didn't say
trying
we're on side. I just don't even want to be in like
That's why they're
the
stopping us.
same area code as
Yeah.
that particular garbage can of a person.
Yeah.
Speaking
Yes.
of people, Space
Space
Marine.
Marine. So this is one of the many Warhammer 40k games that do exist out there, which we were talking about how they
They
have
do exist. He does.
actually made one based off of
I'm doing the
the
imminent.
board game itself, but
I got you.
they've done different offshoots like Blood Bowl or Dawn of War,
Is
or in
the-
this case, Space Marine.
Is this the shooter one?
Yeah, this is the shooter beat 'em up one. It is.
Hang on, let's play the game of if Doc has this game and has totally forgot about it now. Okay.
There's a good chance.
Is it just called Space Marine, or is it called like Warhammer 40k Space Marine?
Let me double check real quick.
God, this is embarrassing. Yeah, I do. Never mind.
Yeah, it's just called Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine.
Yep.
Uh,
Purchased in 2012.
I just figured I'd play it for a bit.
I think it's supposed to be good.
It's reasonably good. It does have some flaws.
Yeah.
So, for one thing, it's almost a rails shooter type game
Uh-huh.
because you only have one direction you can go no matter what you do. Like, it's already set out the path you're going to take. There are some bits of the game that are poorly designed, so at least of what I've played so far. There's in one of the objectives, you're being shot at by an orc ship, and it does rapid fire damage, drops guys to do melee combat with you, and you have
Fisticuffs.
to, you have to shoot at it with a plasma gun, and knock it out of the air. But it does enough damage quickly enough. You have to try and find cover, which is very difficult because of the way the area is laid out. It's almost impossible to find cover from this darn thing.
Mm.
So I ended up dying a couple of times, even on easy mode, because it's so difficult to find a way to hide from it.
Okay.
The other thing is, they did not give the enemies very many dialogue lines.
Yes.
Like, there's about 5, if that, and every one of them involves the word Space Marines.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
It gets very old very quickly, but just that part gets very old very quickly, I should say. The game itself is pretty enjoyable to play. You've got a couple of different options for weapons that you unlock as the game progresses. So, like, at the start, you'll just have a combat knife and a pistol, but then you'll get a machine gun, and then a chainsword, and then you'll eventually get a sniper and a grenade launcher. There are 2 other melee weapons you can get at some point, but I have not actually gotten them yet, called I think it's the Power Axe, and then the Thunder Hammer.
Power Axe is great. That's a good name.
I am very much looking forward to getting the Thunder Hammer.
I'd rather have a power hammer in it. Never mind. I don't know.
That's right. That dialogue thing reminded me of course, a great ProZD video that I have,
Which you'll have.
Oh, I like that guy.
that I posted
Yeah,
in the chat.
right.
This is kind of an interesting. It's got me kind of thinking. I talked about Doom, and you're talking about a 2012 thing. It might be interesting to kind of try to go through like the periods of shooters and like play through them now and kind of see how they've changed. Like go through the ones that are were considered to be kind of the best examples back in the day. Like, you know, you do Doom, you maybe do like a Quake or GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, and then Time Splitters 2 or something like that from PS2, or and kind of see how they've progressed to now could be an interesting.
That could be
An
quite
interesting
interesting.
thing.
Thus far, I would say my impression of Space Marine is overall fairly positive. I have enjoyed myself. It is a good game for when you just want to murder things in mass.
Okay, alright, yeah.
Like, orcs in this case is what you start out killing. Which are not like Lord of the Rings orcs. They are big, green, and talk like football hooligans.
Love it.
They're one of the sillier parts of the setting, but most people find them quite enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
I would like to. Oh, keep going.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead.
I was gonna sorry. I thought the topic was wrapping up. I do not want to distract from the Space Marine discussion. I was gonna go through some of No Shots Fired's greatest hits in terms of videos with the most views after this.
Oh, absolutely. That sounds like a great idea. You play. So, one thing is that you play as Captain Titus of the Ultramarines. They are
Ultramarines.
Yes, they are the classic chapter. Like, they're the poster boys that Games Workshop uses for everything.
Okay.
To the point that a lot of people are actually kind of sick of them. A nickname for them is the Ultra Smurfs, because they are big and blue. Gargamel is not part of the 40k universe.
Yet. Give it time.
You know what? I'm sure if I look hard enough, I can find a character that is pretty much Gargamel.
Okay.
I'll talk to my friends about that tomorrow. I'm sure they'll have things to inform me of.
Trollin' Raiders is a great one. Evan, we need to send that to Randy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Randy wasn't even involved in.
On to No Shots Fire's greatest hits.
So the all-time, not by greatest hits, the criteria is just going to be views. But the all-time most viewed video is our cover of Jeff Buckley's cover of Hallelujah, the Leonard Cohen song, I believe. And boy, it's just a great cover. I would recommend everybody watch that.
Triple digits on that bad boy.
We have a
Triple
comment.
digit.
Oh, it's Dark Spirits.
I forgot about
That's
Dark Spirits.
amazing.
That's not true, Dark Spirits.
Three
Where
thumbs
do you
up,
think?
though?
Wow, 3
Why
thumbs up.
haven't
I'll
we
look.
continued, guys?
No thumbs down.
We're
Not a
le-
single thumbs down.
We're leaving money on the table with this.
I know, right? If we got some ads in there, that's like what, 1/10 of a cent per view or something. Man. Number 2 all-time video though, that's a Doc hit right there. The Mario Maker Mini Kaizo 2 clear. Now it's only a 2-minute video showing Doc clearing a level in Mario Maker, but it took 3 hours.
Oh God, my hands hurt so badly, and it's just it's just such a small
I need to
thing.
see this.
Moving on from that, I think the number 3 all-time video is Madamus Flagship Adventures, his very first flagship kill.
I was
Man,
so
that
happy. That was after like 24 hours worth of gameplay.
Yeah, because you had been to the flagship quite a few times. It's
It's not an easy game.
now keep going.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I remember watching Doc attempting to clear this level.
How
now
is
that I
this
see
even
it,
possible?
Mario Maker is crazy.
It's a fantastic essay, and I need to try to find some
Oh
of
yeah,
these
describe it for Madamus.
for the new one. It's Mario Maker's just user-made levels that they upload, and so people have been making hacks of like Mario World and stuff for a long time with just very difficult jumps and hidden block, like just crazy difficult levels. It's called Kaizo basically, And so people have made like mini Kaizo levels that are just like a few different skills. So that's kind of like spin jumping a bomb across a stage kind of thing. And I beat one other one, but I wasn't streaming like a doofus. But they just recently released Mario Maker 2 for the Switch, so I need to find a couple. More because that game is fantastic.
It sounds infuriating.
Oh yeah, but once you get it, real good. Real good.
And then our all-time most viewed podcast episode with the three of us is, as far as I can tell, it's number 15, and that was Special Orders to Iron Men, Airborne Rescue of the Strongest Men. And I'm assuming it's because of our subtitle. That is a great subtitle.
That's a good one.
That had 14 views. I mean, for our podcast episodes, that is like...
Oh, that's tied with Ep 12, Living an Honest Student Life.
Oh, good. Yeah, I had not mentioned that one because that was before Junkblade.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that was before I had joined.
Just before.
And in recent memory, it looks like we got... I think we had 9 views on episode... Why would we get 9 views on episode 46? I mean, if you look around... Oh, we also got 9 views on episode 43, which was hashtag
Lime time! Lime time!
But where are you taking us? So we have a Lord of the Rings reference in Lime Time. What was Lime Time?
That was the Marvel Olympics. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, God. So good.
Okay. Yeah.
So good. I need to buy that T-shirt.
And I bring this up because I'm just trying to identify, trends here. What kind of videos are getting views, people? What kind of videos are...
Manimos! Get Manimos in the damn video appears to be the secret. Guys, YouTube gold.
133 views. Wow.
That is why I burnt through our entire budget to get Matamos back.
Yeah, worth it.
That's more than 40 views a year, which means that about once every 10 days or so, somebody watched that video. I wish I could see like the views over time. You probably can see the views over time. I bet they have that.
I bet you have to get like a certain level of...
It's not worth
They probably don't bother to save it on a channel this size. That was some good sniping in Halo, though.
I actually watched that video. That was some good sniping in Halo.
Some good Valen call-outs for the... Where's the flag?
Wait, I didn't have the sound on, so I really want to... Are you looking at Lucky? The video is so titled Lucky?
Sniping. Lucky is a good one just with the Street Fighter music, but...
Alright, we're gonna copy that link address and sniping. I'm gonna put that also in the chat, because when we get 9 views for this because Madamus is involved, I want people to be able to watch the videos with them.
I think I need to put... There's a few more highlights I have on Twitch I should upload on here.
If I was more competent with slicing and dicing videos, I would love to do a little compilation of all my aces in Counter-Strike.
Oh, yeah.
Because I am that vain.
What is an ace in Counter-Strike?
All 5 kills.
Just taking out the other team by yourself. My favorite ace in Counter-Strike is I have a 1v5 ace that I'm very proud of. So
nice.
It only kind of counts because one of the other people on the other team I think was a bot, but I still.
This shouldn't have worked. Is a 1v5 ace essentially. So.
Anyway, welcome back.
Gotta get that stuff up there.
Hope you cleared out the bladder.
Good to go.
And that brings
knocking the camera down.
right into the D&D update.
All right. So we are going to need a topic after this because this is not going to be a super long D&D update.
We can stretch. Do we have the whiteboard yet?
We do not have the whiteboard yet.
Need the whiteboard.
That is going to be a next week acquisition, hopefully.
Okay.
I was disarmed by Matamos coming. It was not planned.
As one is.
That'll do it.
Alright, so this is the Endless Dungeon campaign, is we refer to it. Our characters that are consistently around are me, the Kitsune Wizard. Kitsune being a fox person from Chinese, Japanese, and Korean mythology, for those who are not aware.
I'm aware.
I
You need not tell Doc.
Oh,
the Drow Bard, who has been described as basically an albino Link from Legend of Zelda.
I thought Drow were like dark elves.
They are. There's some setting reason that I do not recall that certain Drow are albino.
Okay. Yeah, Link surely can't get any paler. Classic tanned character, Link.
Then there's Andreas the Magus, which is a fighter wizard class. He's a dual wielder. He has a bastard sword and a mace.
What's a bastard sword?
Hand and a half sword. Not quite a two-handed sword, not quite a long sword.
Hand and a half. How do you wield a hand and a half?
You can wield it one-handed or two-handed.
Okay. Isn't that any sword? Kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Why do you think they went with bastard?
Because it
Seems like a viable sword. I don't know why we gotta put it down.
It's the bastard child of a great
gonna
sword
say.
and a long sword.
Great.
it's an
long.
illegitimate sword offspring.
What about Grong? A Grong sword.
Doesn't roll off the tongue as easily.
I think it does.
Then there's Crixum, the halfling rogue shadow dancer. He's the party scout. So we've got the scout, the two buffers, and the tank, essentially.
So this isn't the campaign with the luchador.
This is not the campaign
Okay.
with the Warforged luchador, Los Platos Dragoon.
Good.
We
Okay.
might get to some of that campaign tomorrow.
Oh,
we might
please.
not.
I need more of the luchador.
Oh, I need more of the luchador too. But the dungeon master for that campaign has some things he has to do at home and may not have enough prep time.
Okay.
So we may be doing more of the endless dungeon. One moment. Trying to recall everything that happened. So this dungeon is sort of, at least the part we're in right now, is going all Silent Hill on us. There's fog everywhere that doesn't appear to be natural, but doesn't show up as magical in any way. And the dungeon is confronting our characters with all sorts of different sins they've committed.
Okay.
So, for example, Andreas the Magus accidentally... Something went wrong with a spell of his, and he basically killed his entire class, including his teacher, in a conflagration.
How convenient.
Accidentally.
Yeah. Andreas the Magus a Plagueis.
So he's been plagued by these horrible things called Wrath Spawn, because his sin is wrath.
Well, wait, if it was an accident.
That's also just the way his character has been acting in the dungeon in general.
Oh. Or is it wrath of the people he killed that have spawned?
That's also a possibility.
Okay.
I forget. I don't recall which type of sin spawn the dungeon master specified were here because of Crixum.
What?
The rogue. Like,
Oh.
we all,
See, I need the whiteboard.
yes, it's an in progress thing.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, my bad.
you're bad indeed. My character, Pride Spawn are what have been attacking us because of my character. Because, wizard trying to become immortal.
What's a pride spawn? Was this already answered?
There are different monsters called, there's Sin Spawn is what they're called, and each one is based off of one of the 7 deadly sins. So
Got it.
Pride Spawn,
Is there one like D&D sin that like replaces one of the Christian
I
ones?
don't believe so.
Let's try to think of a D&D sin that could.
Yeah, a Pride Spawn is described as a gaunt, near-skeletal humanoid lurching on back-bent dog-like legs. Its hideous mouth flanked by tiny arms with 3-fingered hands.
What is
With a
that?
long ring of twisted hair.
What does that creature have to be
with-
proud of?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. What does that have to do with pride?
It should be like a super buff dude who like doesn't even notice you. And so
Right.
you end up fighting him just to get some attention.
He makes a derisive comment
Yeah.
about your outfit. Or,
Yeah. Your physique, yeah. Do you even lift,
Quick
bro?
question.
Is the dialogue.
Quick aside, what's a food that's like pasta and pizza? Like similar, like that would be in the same... I'm trying to come up with... Somebody asked me to guess what...
Tacos
Lasagna.
and burrito.
Lasagna. I think it's lasagna.
Oh, you meant... Oh,
What were you
penne.
saying, Doc?
well, I was just doing like similar families again. I didn't know you wanted another Italian dish. Baked ziti. Eggplant parmigiana. Chicken parmesan.
But does pasta encompass lasagna?
Fettuccine Alfredo. Chicken.
Fettuccine Alfredo
Telling you,
and
chicken parmesan.
lasagna are both technically pasta.
Chicken parmesan. Not a pasta, still Italian.
I'm doing... I don't know. Oh,
Chicken.
chicken parmesan. I don't
Chicken,
think so.
chicken parm parm.
I think I'm gonna give up instead of guessing any of these.
Waka wah!
I don't like them. Chicken parmesan?
What? I mean, that is. What are you trying to do?
Okay. I'm trying to
That's-
guess a food that's... I've got three
That's not
guesses.
encompassed by
Guess a
pasta.
food. Right, it's just... I don't know.
It's Italian. What's the problem?
Alright, I'm guessing chicken parmesan.
Love it. I think you should type
You're
chicken,
right.
chicken parm parm.
Chicken parm. Alright, fine. Whatever.
Because
I'll type that.
they need to get the Parks and Rec reference to really make this
No.
worthwhile.
Nope, that wasn't it.
Well, tell
What
them,
was it?
Tell them yes, it was.
Okay, I'm gonna say I crowdsourced.
Adopt our Rocket League strategy of pretending we won no matter what happened. It's the Manimos. It's the latest innovation in trolling people. They don't know how to, they don't know how to respond when you just pretend you won at the end of the game.
That actually sounds pretty awesome.
I do try to keep up to date with
It's
the
good.
latest trolling.
It's real good.
Go back to whatever the topic was.
The topic was D&D update. So Pride Spawn are what have been afflicting my character, and their sins are that they basically exiled themselves from society. They became a hermit, as wizards often do, abandoning what was honestly a pretty loving family, and they do feel bad about that. That is part of what the purpose of going through a Silent Hill-esque place is to confront your sins, deal with them, and resolve to be a better person.
Why
At
wouldn't
least
the
ideally.
Pride Spawn take the form of the family going like, what the hell?
They did. And
Oh.
they two of them took the form of her parents and basically said you should commit honorable suicide.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now leaving makes a little more sense. I guess.
That is not something her real parents would have done, but that is something that the dungeon is throwing in their face. Because of things. Did we lose you, Doc? Okay. Um. so. So yeah, those are what have been afflicting my character. The sloth spawn are what are targeting the bard because he hasn't really done much with his life.
Now, please tell me you just stumble upon these. Like they can't be. Like you just have to go. Oh crap! You're around a corner. Like oh dang it.
Basically, yes.
But can you run away from them very easily? And they're just kind of like.
Not in our experience.
Okay. It just feels like a lack of commitment to the sin bit. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, ironically, sloth spawn have a higher movement speed than we do.
Oh, come on!
What?
No! No, they're an enemy that goes, come over here. I'm gonna make you get over here, and I'm gonna give you a piece of my mind.
Hey man, I just enjoy the game. I'm not the one who willed the monster.
Okay.
And neither is the dungeon master.
All right.
This is on Paizo.
I have to take it up with higher authority. Okay.
You have to take it up with higher authorities. Sloth spawn are described pretty similarly to Pride spawn, except instead of being hideously thin, they've got thick rolls of excess skin.
Is gluttony a sin? Also?
Yes.
Yep.
It's separate from sloth, right?
Yes.
Well,
sloth is laziness and sometimes
why would they be
laziness
faster?
of mind.
They should be slower, but impose like movement penalties on you.
Yeah, I agree.
Making you slothful. I love it, Valen.
Glutton spawn are described as obese, hairless humanoids.
A little on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think they kind of missed the mark on these because they should have been higher challenge rating monsters that have abilities related to their various sins rather than just slight appearance differences.
Okay. Is there going to be like a boss sin spawn, you think? Or
That's entirely possible, although we also all have rivals that we're going to have to deal with.
oh boy.
For the halfling, it's what's called a red cap, which is actually kind of terrifying. They're one of the few Fae that are not affected at all by cold iron. There's like 3 that aren't affected, and that's one of them. He has a tendency of literally curb stomping people.
Okay.
That's not pleasant.
How many curbs are there in this world?
That's an excellent
Surprising
point.
amount.
What's the pavement
Oh,
like?
okay, here's a question. How critical is the curb to the curb stomp?
That is a good question.
Well, isn't it just stomping if there isn't a curb?
Yeah, maybe.
Let us check.
We need to get Seth Rollins in
I'm
here
not-
on this. That's his
I'm
finisher
not-
right now, the curb stomp.
I'm not googling that.
He didn't
That's-
used to be able to do it because they didn't like it because it was like a hit to the head kind of thing. But then they said,
Yeah,
whatever.
The curb is pretty vital to the curb stomp.
Okay.
Otherwise, it is just squashing.
Do you think
somebody's
that's
skull.
excessive? Like what? Like stomping like on pavement is still gonna hurt. Like the presence of
Right.
a slightly
That's what
elevated piece of pavement. I don't know.
Right.
Oh no, this is absolutely excessive. This dude is super chaotic evil.
Okay.
my character's rival is apparently lawful neutral, and wants justice for things that my character did in their past life.
Big oops.
Which
Oh, Sam Adamus?
I stole the headphone out of Zero accidentally.
my rival also wants justice for that.
Hmm.
For the bard, the dungeon master has apparently not decided entirely on which of two characters he has in mind are going to be
Ooh.
the rival,
Ooh,
and which is going to be a free agent.
ooh,
Yes, Doc?
Bard rival. Love it. It's a very obnoxious trombone player who has always stolen the parts from this drow bard ever since drow middle school. And it's just really, I mean, he's a great trombone player, but it's just, it's a bit too much, I think. Do you guys remember Riker playing the trombone in Star Trek The Next Generation? That's kind of what I'm talking about.
Best part about Riker from Next Generation is how he would sit on things. He would sit like the chair would be turned around. You know how cool guys sit?
Oh,
The
yeah.
chair's like in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
That was Riker's thing.
Oh, yeah. That, the trombone, sexy man.
So the two concepts that the Dungeon Master has in mind are the Dance Macabre, which the basic idea there is that they are just everything that the bard wishes they were.
Oh, okay.
And the other, I don't think he's actually given the character a name, but he described it as a gnome lich bard who is like the child of Liberace and Sir Elton John.
Hmm.
Why do you need to be so many things?
Extremely similar characters?
Right. Like, how do you distinguish?
I mean, is it
really
just that
Liberace?
Liberace didn't wear, like, glasses, I guess?
Basically just very over the top.
Okay.
Question: why a lich?
Because otherwise,
Seems like an
he'd just be an awesome dude, right?
And-
You got to have a reason to not root
inspired
for him over the player character.
Inspired by a different D&D campaign story he heard about.
What compelled this character to seek immortality at the risk of their own sanity?
That's
This
a
is
good
mad.
question.
I mean,
to
if
ask
you've got
with
the
liches.
skill and on-stage charisma of a cross between Liberace and Elton John, do you want to deprive the world of that at some point? I don't think so.
You can't.
Guy's doing a freaking public service.
Adams, what's your take on this this gnome?
Looks like it's a bit too much for Matimos.
Honestly, there's too much to say.
I felt like we were losing you there, so I wanted to get you. Anyway, keep going. Sorry. Yeah, no, you're released from the question. Don't worry.
And the last rival that is absolutely this character's rival for sure is known as the Butcher, one of the horrible sub-bosses in the dungeon known as those that pursue, and created by the actions of the Magus. So, the Butcher is basically just the Terminator. They will not stop following us until we are dead.
Well, but the Terminator before he's been reformed.
Yes, from the first Terminator movie, not Terminator 2.
Or the T-1000
Right.
in the second.
Or, yeah.
Can you guys find an Arnold Schwarzenegger character from Terminator 2 to help you against this Terminator?
So far, no.
Okay.
Who's John Connor in this group?
Sounds like the bard to me.
The bard is technically the youngest.
Okay, nailed it. Does the butcher have an apron of some sort?
I'm not certain. He does absolutely have a giant cleaver.
Does
and
he?
a
I say,
dog.
does he talk about like what cuts of meat he's going to cut you into during?
No, he does not actually speak.
Oh. Okay.
He is some sort of awful undead called a devourer, except 10 times worse than a regular one.
I would love, because I feel like there's a number of stories that like have like the butcher as a character, right? Like, you know,
Oh yeah, like
Diablo and all that stuff.
Diablo, I think every single game has the butcher.
Just one time, I want to run into a room in the dungeon. Diablo, it's creepy. There's skeletons, and then you cross through the threshold, and it's just a butcher's shop. And it's just a clean white floor, a counter with wares to purchase, and it's the boss behind the counter. But you know, he's got a day job. He's got stuff to do. He can't always be slavering in the end of the dungeon waiting to feast on your things. You know,
you need to try his dry age.
you gotta, yeah, you have to buy a T-bone and a couple fillets.
He wipes his hands on that butcher
yeah.
paper.
And he says, "Thank you."
He sets aside his apron.
Yeah, just once.
Take a number. You take a number when you go in.
You know, they do that cow level every time. Come on, give me the butcher shop.
Madamus, make up a Dungeons and Dragons boss now. Go.
Oh, my brain won't work.
Brilliant.
Intellect
He's
devourer, right there.
Yep, that's what it is. I think
a
you would
class
be in
of
the form of J Money there.
a class of mind flayer. Great, fantastic, well done.
Excellent.
Doc, boss, Dungeons and Dragons. You just did that, I guess. All right, good work, everyone.
I
Moving
like
on.
the cocksure trombone player personally, but
I like the cocksure trombone player idea too.
okay. So, how many sections of this endless dungeon have you been through so far?
Like 4 or 5.
Okay. Is there an idea
I
of how
think-
many it's going to be when it concludes, or
It's endless. Doc.
I'm aware of the name. I doubt that in
Uh,
practice
not
how it.
the specific number of sections. The Dungeon Master has given us a level idea of when we're going to be through.
Okay.
We're at level 9, and he said it's going to be like level 15.
All right. How many summons have you got?
We have gotten none. We are not breeding the golden chocobo to get Knights of the Round.
Is there something in D&D that's like summons?
Not
Not just
exactly.
I say not just like familiars and crap.
There's the option of summoning things,
Okay.
but I think the closest thing to summons from Final Fantasy would be like the Gate spell, where you can just summon a horde of angels.
I really like
Ah.
the summons in Final Fantasy.
Big mess.
They're really good. Everyone, favorite you guys. Get a headphone splitter. Favorite Final Fantasy summon. Go. Valen.
Odin.
Odin. Fantastic.
Knights of the Round.
Knights of the Round.
What is
Madibus.
that? What is it?
Favorite Final Fantasy
Favorite.
summon.
You can use tactics. So
Leviathan?
Leviathan
Yeah,
works.
there you go.
Okay. I'm going to go with Bahamut. I would have said Odin,
Moogle.
but
I lied. Moogle.
Moogle's a good one.
nobody liked that's a terrible one.
That's,
It's worthless. So I need to heal for 20 HP.
did I tell you guys I re-downloaded the app on my phone, the Tactics app, and I'm like 3 missions away from the end, but I can't beat the mission I'm on.
Is it the one where you have to solo the guy?
No, I beat that one. It's the one where you're in like the underworld or something,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy with the gun, and there's
Guy with the
3
gun's
dragons.
That one is really
Fucking
tough.
hard. I've gotten really close, but I've replayed it like 40 times, and so I'm taking an extended break.
I don't.
I didn't know
blame
you can do that on your phone.
Oh, they've got it on everything
It was like
now.
$20.
I say that's
Incredible.
the
but I had
problem.
a gift card.
Square Enix's game, like you can get like every Final Fantasy, like 1 through 9 on there, but they're all
Really
like
good on it, actually.
they're all like $25. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I spent like $20.
Crystal Chronicles is actually listed as coming out for the Android and the iPhone. At least the Apple OS for mobile. I don't know if it'll actually work on like a phone, but for a tablet, I'm sure it will.
Switch. Why not?
Oh yeah, I know. I'm getting it for the Switch whenever it comes out, and they better announce the release date soon because I'm getting.
I think it's close. I think it was. Well, they gave a range, and I think it's early next year. I think is what I.
No, it's this year.
Is it? I remember being disappointed when they said the range.
Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered will be released in 2019.
Excellent.
Madamus, what's your starting 5 in Final Fantasy Tactics? Who's in the crew?
I forget, actually. I'd have to look. I'll look right now.
Alright, yeah. And tell us your starting 5 and their classes. Doc, who's your starting 5?
I still haven't played Final Fantasy Tactics, the first one.
Who is going to be your starting 5?
You've never played it?
We tried to start it. I remember.
What do you mean?
We went
Are you super into Final Fantasy? I thought you were super into Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And you've never. Doc.
I played the GBA one for about 100 hours.
Justin is the main guy.
Of course.
Ben, Quentin,
Solid.
Thomas,
Yeah.
and me. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I think I leave out Quentin.
Feels like those names aren't useful as to actual characters.
Who are the classes?
Julio.
All-time mages.
And then I think
You could
a
do
lot
it.
of people have died. I think Caleb died a long time ago. I remember Joe dying.
I usually end up dying. So in Crystal Chronicles news, just no release date, but the remaster includes enhanced graphics, new content, something Valen will not be excited for, voice acting.
Ooh. Yeah.
And the important thing, adjustments to the multiplayer to allow online remote play.
Online. Junkblade and I going on a journey. Who's joining us?
I liked that game a lot, actually. Except the multiplayer was horrible.
All right, guys. Quick sidebar. We have to get Valen a Switch because there's too much good. There's just too much good stuff.
I gotta tell you, no, not Dragon Age. What's the thing that came out that I would like? No, there's a tactics game.
Tactics game?
It's coming out for the Switch. Yeah,
Wargroove is a good one.
I didn't know that existed. It's a franchise.
The Banner Saga?
Fire Emblem, that's getting really good reviews.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about that. My friend even said I should give it a shot if I get the money and the chance.
3 houses.
Animus, if you ever want to do something fun that I don't think we ever did in Tactics, look up how to get to the deep dungeon. Because it's like 10 different levels in the secret part of the world that's with like special items and stuff in it. It was pretty fun to like fight. I fought my way through that. And there's a weapon there. There's a bunch of like really good weapons in there, which is crazy. But I did a playthrough when I was hanging out with Junkblade and my mom when I was visiting them a couple months ago, and I turned Junkblade into this like 500 HP knight with this blade that does like it's like 4 times as powerful as any other sword in the game or something. So I've never done as much damage as he was doing in this game, which was pretty funny. Anyway,
all right,
we got 4 minutes left, so we're gonna have to take some questions, I think.
I told you we could stretch that Junkblade.
Oh, I knew we could. I just wanted you guys to know that we're going to need to stretch.
Wait, let me tell you real quick about my latest gaming endeavor. I was somewhat recently, a couple weeks ago, I was dog sitting for J Money. And I'm like, I'm going to play some Elder Scrolls Oblivion. and I had some stuff to do, and I got there at like 5 p.m. and I'm like,
Oh, I've heard
Okay.
this story from
okay,
J Money.
I'll play an hour and then I'll go for a run. I need to do some reading, have some work to do. I think I got on at like 5:30 or 6 p.m. and I played 13 hours straight.
Oh my god!
And then an additional 8 hours between the next 2 days. And I beat all the side quests that I used to like and the guilds that I liked, and I leveled up like 30 levels. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'm good
isn't
for
it-
another 5 years. I'm gonna do the exact same thing in 5 years.
Your favorite was always the Dark Brotherhood,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, and side note, and I feel like Justin told me about this, and so tell me if it's not true, but didn't your start in this adventure, like you got through the boring part and then somebody turned off the game?
Turned it off. Yeah. That was like 2 days before. Yeah, I turned it off. And that's that's like half of the game right there, because there's that threshold to get through the actual tutorial. It sucks so much.
The main quest is so boring in that game.
Yeah, I didn't
have
play it at
never completed that main quest.
No, but the side quests, some of them were so good.
Yeah, like the wizard
Mage's
tower,
Guild.
the Mage's Guild is fun. The Dark Brotherhood is fun. The arena.
The arena's good. Yeah.
My favorite thing to do in that game was to always abuse the leveling system. So I would just get 100 conjuration and not have it as any of my skills, and just summon clan fears at level 1, so nothing would survive in
Shut
combat
up.
with me.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm disappointed that I don't think they actually kept in not Oblivion, Skyrim, is the clan fears, because they're just like these weird bipedal Triceratops demons.
I never played Skyrim much, except for the Skyrim challenge.
Let's see.
That was my only chance of ever beating it completely.
Oh, yes, they did keep them in Skyrim. They
Yeah.
must have added them later, or I just never encountered one somehow.
My Skyrim challenge, I was like 10 hours in. I got killed. It was stupid. I was even doing. It was not better. I had a great system too. I had a mercenary. I had a dog. I got somebody from the main quest that I wasn't taking to the place I was supposed to take him. That way he'd have to follow me around and go into the battles for me. And I was just like a sneaky. The two things I kept upgrading were heavy armor and sneak, so I could just sit in the back with my super buffed up armor and just like not participate in battles. But then I got to a certain part in a dungeon where, I have to go through the dungeon, and I will remember this to the day I die, and it's probably the only thing I'll comment on my deathbed. But going through the dungeon, I step on a pressure plate, and I hear the click, and I'm like, oh shit, and then just a fireball blasts me out of nowhere with one hit. I'm dead. Skyrim challenge over.
I love that you heard the click.
Heard the click.
Oh, shit. That's amazing.
Clever girl.
So stupid.
Fireball. That's good stuff.
All right. And when
On
you
that
think
note-
about it, it all comes back to playing with the boys.
It all comes back to playing with the boys.
It really does.
Madamus, you're going
On
to
that
watch that
note.
video in about 45 seconds.
Madamus, take us out.
What is that thing called? The mind thing? It's attacking me.
Intellect Devourer,
The intellect devours.
Mind Flayer.
It's been good. It's been fun. Good night, San Diego.
All right, and we're out.